NCB Capital Markets specifically has financing capabilities throughout the Caribbean via subsidiaries in Trinidad and Tobago that serves as a hub for the southern territories such as Guyana and the ABC Islands, and in Barbados via NCB Capital Markets Barbados Limited, which covers St. Kitts and the other Eastern Caribbean islands. We also have a presence in the Cayman Islands and reach the Northern Caribbean through the group stake in Clarion Financial Group Limited, domiciled in Bermuda. Having been involved in close to $2 billion in financing and structured product transactions over the last 2 years, we are the Caribbean's leading investment bank in terms of deal flow and are at the forefront of infrastructure financing in Jamaica. Thus, just this year in Jamaica, we financed to the tune of $180 million US to finance a combined heat and power plant for New Fortress Energy, and this was fully underwritten, $180 million US. As it relates to water, your President Mark Barnett will tell you that we are the leading financier for National Water Commission in Jamaica. Last year, we arranged the Jamaican dollar equivalent of then $120 million US in financing for NWC. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was without a sovereign guarantee and included a bond with a 40-year tenure in local currency. We have also provided mezzanine financing for a build-out of a water well at the University of the West Indies Mona campus via a fund co-managed by NCB Capital Markets. Additionally, we recently refinanced $12.3 million US for Jamaica's Central Wastewater Treatment Company, having done approximately $37 million US 6 years ago for the same entity. Therefore, when I say NCB Capital Markets is a subject matter expert in water and wastewater financing, there's empirical evidence to support it, right? Right, Mr. Barnett? Thank you, sir. Water and waste financing requires attention given the importance of water and waste disposal from an economic, social, and political perspective. This, coupled with the inherent inefficiencies in its distribution in developing countries due to the unwillingness and, in many cases, the inability of governments to modernize the supporting infrastructure, requires special focus when it comes to financing. At the third meeting of the Roundtable on Financing Water held last year, November, in Paris, 90 participants, including private investors and financiers, development finance institutions, government officials, philanthropists, NGOs, and research institutions were present. The meeting focused on recent developments and new analytical work across 3 main themes: mapping financing flows, blending finance for water investments, and strategic investment pathways. At the roundtable, it was highlighted that water-related investments could be made more attractive for institutional investors through 5 things. 1, integration with other projects such as urban development. 2, developing long-term projects to allow investors to reap benefits from ongoing operations. 3, improving scalability. 4, establishing more cost-reflective water prices. And 5, improving the regulatory framework to attract private capital. At session 1, titled Blended Finance for Water-Related Investments, the point was made that water-related investments have traditionally been financed by the public sector, with concessional donor finance playing an important role in developing countries. According to OECD analysis, official development finance flows to water and sanitation were $12.5 billion on average in 2015-2016. This represents a fraction of the estimated investment required to meet the water-related sustainable development goals. At the same time, developing country governments are fiscally constrained and private financing flows for water investments have been limited. Blended finance, defined as a strategic use of development finance for the mobilization of additional finance towards sustainable development, in developing countries offers a promising approach to harnessing additional resources for water. They went on to say that to further scale up the use of blended finance for water, the focus should be on promoting local currency financing and the development of local capital markets. The development of local capital markets, which includes improving the regulatory framework to attract private capital, is where I want to shift the focus. And I want to take this opportunity to highlight 4 facts. The first one is, for the most part, Caribbean governments are fiscally challenged, and as such, to drive infrastructure development as a catalyst for growth, public-private sector partnerships are a must. Secondly, overseas financiers, due to a lack of familiarity and perception of Caribbean risk at times, do not offer the best private financing solutions. Thirdly, local banks, or should I say traditional banks indigenous to the region, do not necessarily have the risk appetite for long-term financing, and understandably so. Banks are simply not set up to lend money for 20 to 40 years. And the fourth point, ladies and gentlemen, is that institutions such as pension funds, insurance companies, and other fund managers with the appropriate risk appetites do have significant local currency liquidity looking for a home to invest. These 4 points build the case for the improving of the regulatory framework that governs the regional capital markets. This is where I would recommend, ladies and gentlemen, that Caribbean countries follow Jamaica's lead in nurturing its local capital market. I say this also wearing another hat, which is that of President of the Jamaica Lobby Group for Securities Dealers, the Jamaica Securities Dealers Association. NCB was very innovative and I dare say bold in creating a 40-year bond solution for the National Water Commission without a sovereign guarantee. However, this solution was supported by a capital markets ecosystem that has been developed over the years. In fact, the government of Jamaica, GOJ, is embarking on significant reforms aimed at further deepening the capital markets, as well as are on a path to divest a number of state-owned infrastructure assets into the hands of the public. In April of this year, we saw the Jamaican government divesting all its holding in Wigton Wind Farm Limited, an independent power provider in Jamaica, via an IPO on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This IPO was the equivalent of $40 million taken up by over 30,000 Jamaicans, a little bit more than half the population of St. Kitts. A few weeks ago, the government of Jamaica engaged NCB Capital Markets to list Jamaica's largest toll road concession by an IPO, which will be the largest IPO in the history of Jamaica. The government has also stated its intention to divest via an IPO its 19.9% stake in Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, Jamaica's distributor of electricity. There's no reason, ladies and gentlemen, that the story told here cannot be one for the wider Caribbean, and with water and wastewater being the headline. It starts with a willingness to change. It starts with a willingness to be transformational. In closing, the capital market stands ready and able to play its role. The evolution of Jamaica's capital markets over the years is a testament to that point. I encourage the authorities to play its part in facilitating the markets and its players so that we collectively can work together to enhance infrastructure financing on a whole. To the CWWA, I want to thank you for the opportunity to once again be a part of your conference. I wish you all a productive and insightful week. I also look forward to tomorrow's plenary session where my team will be presenting on financing opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.